Roberto, a less fortunate father of two living in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, is approached by Giselle, a former beauty queen. Giselle proposes to sign Miguel and Rocco, his young children, to contracts for child modeling. They are taken to the photo shoot after he accepts. But when he goes back to get his kids, they are gone. It is made clear that the kids were bought to be sex slaves. Tim Ballard is a special agent for the Homeland Security investigations, in Calexico, California, where he makes arrests of those who have or are in possession of child pornography. His personal life is severely affected by the difficult task, and this is made worse when another agent, Chris, notes that while they have captured many child predators, they have not managed to prevent the exploitation of even one child. Although Chris's remarks stay with him, Tim adds that this is because the majority of them are in other nations. He pretends to be a pedophile while speaking to a predator he detained, Ernst Oshinsky. After gaining Ohinsky's confidence, he arranges a meeting with a trafficking youngster and is able to apprehend the man who bought the child. The youngster, who gives his name as Miguel, is saved by Tim. Tim makes friends with the kid and inquires of him for information in an effort to track down the other kids. Miguel informs Tim that his sister is still missing and begs him to find her. Roberto breaks down because his daughter is still missing after Tim makes arrangements for him to bring his son back. Before leaving with Roberto, Miguel offers Tim the St. Timothy necklace that belonged to his sister. Tim starts seeking for Rocco, which causes him to end up in Cartagena, Colombia. Vampiro, a former cartel accountant who now fights to protect children from sex trafficking, is a person he meets. Tim determines that this is the ideal pretext for obtaining many of Giselle's kids in a sting operation after reading about a child sex club in Thailand that was shut down. Tim's quest is assisted by Paul, a wealthy citizen, and Jorge, a police officer from Colombia. Frost, Tim's boss, requests him to come back since he can't afford to pay the operation. Tim resigns because he can't stop looking for Rocco. Frost eventually succeeds in persuading the American embassy in Colombia to help with Tim's rescue effort. They successfully apprehend every member of the conspiracy while operating undercover, liberate the kids, and persuade Giselle to sell them 54 children. Rocchio, though, is not present. Jorge discovers that Rocco was sold as a slave to the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, who are encamped far into the Amazonian wilderness behind enemy lines, after questioning one of Giselle's accomplices. Tim is told by Jorge that there is no way to find the girl because the area is entirely uncharted forest wilderness and the Colombian government prohibits flying over any rebel territory. Tim decides to